Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today our topic is comparison of NoSQL databases. So today we will understand why and what type of database need to be used and when they have to be used. So first of all, let's learn about what is NoSQL. So NoSQL is a type of database that are category of databases that diverge from the traditional relational database. They are designed to handle a large volume of structured, semi-structured, and unstructured data. NoSQL database offers flexible schema designs, horizontal scalability, and high availability. Uh, so next is introduction of NoSQL databases. So why we need NoSQL? See, traditional relational database may face challenges when scalability and performance with when dealing with massive datasets or distributed environment. NoSQL databases addresses these challenges by providing various data models and distributed architecture tailored to specify use cases. What are the key characteristics of NoSQL? So key characteristics are schema flexibility. It doesn't have a fixed schema. For different types of data, we can have different schemas. The next is horizontal scalability. If we want to increase the storage and the responsiveness, then we can add new systems that will help in increasing the scalability that is using horizontal scalability. Next is high availability. Many NoSQL databases offer built-in mechanism for data repetition and fault tolerance and ensure continuous availability. When we have to consider NoSQL, see big data applications. NoSQL databases excel at high large volume of data and high velocity data. Real-time analytics. NoSQL databases support fast trading and write operations, making them ideal for real-time analytics and processing. And in web and mobile applications, web create billions of uh, terabytes of data every day. So to store this and process it, we use this NoSQL. Examples of NoSQL. For the comparison, we are going to use key value document, document oriented, and column oriented, and graph oriented. In key value oriented, the best example is Redis, Amazon Dynamo. Document oriented, MongoDB, Couchbase. For column oriented, examples are Apache Cassandra, HBase. And for graph, it is Amazon Neptune. Next is what is key value database? See, in the key value database, there are two main components. One is key, another is value. The key means it is an identifying character for the Mm. for the values. Any data is considered as a value. To identify that data, we will use key. So the definition of the key value is it is a type of data store as the data is stored in key value pairs. The best example for this Redis and Amazon Dynamo. Uh, Amazon Dynamo and Redis are completely open source and in-memory data structure. This is used in many places. What are these use cases? Session management, storing user sessions and session related data for web applications. Caching, storing frequently accessed data in memory to improve application performance. Real time analytics, recording event data for real time analysis and reporting. What are the pros of this key value database? So the pro is it is high performance. Now, key value databases are optimized for fast read and write operations, making them suitable for high throughput applications. It is highly scalable and it is very simple. And fetching the data using the keys very takes very less time. But compared to others, it is slow. But they have to remember the key rather than remembering other complete formats to get the data. Then what are the limitations? Limitations are it is limited querying. Limited querying means key value database typically supports simple CRUD operations and may lack advanced query capabilities compared to other NoSQL databases. Data modeling challenges. While simple data structures are easy to handle, complex data relationship may require additional application logic. Lack of ACID transactions. Some key value database sacrifice strong consistency for performance, which may not be suitable for all use cases. And next is document oriented database. So what is a document oriented database? Oriented database store data is flexible semi-structured documents typically using formats like JSON and Bison. Each document can have their own structure, allowing for nested field and arrays. Uh, Compared to key value, document oriented is little more higher in usability. The best example for the document oriented is MongoDB and CouchDB. Next is use cases. Content management, storing and managing content for websites or applications with varying data structure. Capturing and analyzing user preferences and behavior to deliver personalized experiences. Next is catalog management, organizing product catalogs with diverse attributes and categories. Then what are the uses and what are the advantages of using the document oriented database? It has a flexible schema like any other NoSQL. It also has a flexible schema and it has rich query capabilities, and it is also horizontal scalable. Then what are the disadvantages or cons of the document oriented? Data duplication. Denormalized data model may lead to data duplication, requires careful management to avoid inconsistency. Next is complexity in querying. Complex queries may require knowledge of the underlying database query language and indexing strategies. Next is storage overhead. Document oriented may consume more storage space compared to other NoSQL database due to redundant field name and denormalized data. The next is column oriented database. The definition of column oriented database is store data in columns for efficient read and write operations on large data sets. The best example for column oriented database is Apache, Cassandra, and HBase. And then the use cases. Test series data. Storing and analyzing data with timestamps such as logs, sensors reading, and financial transactions. Analytic and reporting. Performing complex analytical queries including aggregations and filtering on large datasets. Ad hoc querying, supporting ad hoc querying for exploration, data analysis, and business intelligence. What are the advantages of column-oriented database? It is high read performance. Column-oriented database excel at read-heavy workloads and analytic queries due to their optimized storage layout. In many situations, writing is very less, and the reading is more. Then we use column-oriented data because it stores everything in columns rather than rows in any other databases. So fetching the contents and fetching a block of content in this column-oriented database is very easy. Then what are the disadvantages? Slower write performance. As I told, it is a well suited for reading the database rather than writing. A little writing is good in this database, but writing for large data is not that easy, and it will give performance constraints. Complex data modeling. Designing an effective data model for column oriented database requires careful consideration of query patterns and patterns and access patterns. Limited transaction support. Some column-oriented database prioritize scalability and performance over strong consistency, which may not be suitable for all use cases requiring ACID transactions. The next is graph database. So the definition of the graph database is store data as node, edges, and properties for efficient representation. The example for is Neo4j and Amazon Neptune. Use cases, social networks. See, in graph database stores everything in a uh, model of node and edges. The edges contains the relationship, the node contains the entity. So in social networks, it in to best traverse through the data is to use the graph database. A graph database is actually a single server database. It can't be shredded and stored in different servers. So the best use is social networks because to identify the new relationship using this will become very simple. Then recommendation system, analyzing user performance and behavior to generate personalization recommendation for products. Next is fraud detection, identifying suspicious patterns and relationships in financial transaction or online activities. And what are the advantages of or pros of the graph database? Relationship centric data modeling. Graph database are optimized for querying and traversing complex relationships, enabling efficient graph-based algorithm. Then it has flexible schema and it has built-in graph algorithms. So just using those algorithm names, we can use the complete graph database rather than writing new algorithm for each and every data. Then what are the cons? The cons is scalability. Uh, as I told, it is a single server data. As it is a single server database, as it is a single server database, the putting data in different servers and have to connect the relationship that will become high scalability challenges. Next is querying complexity. Everything will be stored as relations. So for the large data, querying complexity will also arise. Next is performance trade-off. While graph database excel in relationship-centric queries, they may not perform as well for non-graph queries or when dealing with less interconnected data. Now let's do comparative analysis of the data. So the data model. For the key value, it is simple key value pairs and semi-structured documents for document-oriented data store in columns, node edges and properties in graph. Scalability. Usually all these are horizontally scalable, but in the graph database, it is scalability differentiates from the other databases. Next is querying capabilities. Key value uses basic CRUD operations, while document-oriented uses rich querying capabilities, and column-oriented uses optimized for analytical queries. Graph uses specialized querying language. The performance. In key value, it is high read and write performance. Document-oriented is fast read and fast write performance. In column-oriented, it is a slow read and slow write and fast read performance. In graph, the performance may vary depending on the content of the data. Next is consistency. In key value pairs and document oriented, both they vary eventually and strong it is eventual consistency because it works on base properties. E means eventual consistency. Column oriented is typically eventual consistency. Graph also varies. Next is use cases. Key value is used for caching, session management, real-time analytics. Document oriented is used in content management, personalization, catalog management. Column oriented is time series data, analytics, and reporting, ad hoc queries. Graph. Example for graph is social networks recommendation system. Thank you.